Hello and welcome to LVS Perspectives number 30, Culture and Climate, Climate and Culture. So today we're looking at two areas. One, we're going to be looking at COP26 and the work that we're doing in school with the environment and addressing the international issues that we have at the moment, and also continuing our look at culture within the school as well, and the work that we're doing and how we're progressing with that. And I'm actually joined by some lovely people today. So we have Mrs. Macaulay and Miss Edwards from our Geography department, along with our Eco Sixth Form Prefect, Evie. We've also got our heads of school, and we also have our Prefect for Eco here today as well. And I've got Yarmila Yu, who's our chair of the WOW group as well. So we've got a lot of lively discussion happening today. So, and at the end, then we'll have a general school update. And as always, if you've got any questions at all, please send them through on the chat, and we'd love to hear from you. So to start with, we're going to look at the eco side of the school, we're going to look at COP26, and we're going to do a little bit of juggling. So I have to move over to one side while the Geography department come in, because we will want them in this fabulous studio. So Geography department and our Eco Prefect, Evie, come on in.
Hiya.
Hello.
Well, good morning everyone, and thanks for joining us. We are the Geography Department, and COP26 has given us a wonderful opportunity to really kickstart our initiative and let the children learn about climate change and how important it is for them as young people to get involved. Because it's in Glasgow, even more special because we are hosting, the UK is hosting this fantastic conference. What we have been doing in our geography lessons is getting the children to make their own pledges. So they went outside, they collected leaves that were from the ground, so they didn't destroy any trees, and they wrote their individual pledges. So that's wonderful because that's what they've been doing for 26 years at COP26, but the problem is it's all very well doing the pledges, but it's putting it into action. So we're hoping through our initiatives at LVS Ascot that the children are not only just writing down, but they're going to be living their pledges throughout the year and throughout the years to come.
If you've been paying attention or watching any of the COP26 news beats, you might have seen this morning that there was an article about how the average age of people speaking at the COP26 events was 60 in the last week. The week coming, this week, there's going to be a change. They're going to get more young delegates involved, and we're hoping that that is going to inspire our kids to get more involved as well. The younger people speaking out, representatives from youth groups, and we're hoping in lessons that they'll get a little bit more involved, and of course with our other initiatives in the school. If you saw Greta Thunberg's speech, she said blah 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 about all of the words that people are putting. We really want actions. We're ready now to put actions into place in the school and further afield in order to make the change happen that we need. So we'll talk to you now a little bit about some of the initiatives that we've already put in place, starting with the Let's Go Zero initiative. Yep.
Right, so our school has signed up with many other schools as well for this Let's Go Zero 2030. It's a really exciting initiative where we as LVS community are starting from today to work towards Let's Go Zero. But we are lucky that we have some things in place already that we have been able to do. So our meat-free day in the canteen, switching off lights when we go out of the classrooms, but there are some other very exciting initiatives. This initiative, what they help you with, the government also send us resources and they aid us to reach our target of having LVS Ascot being zero carbon in 2030. So we're really excited, and we want the children to be involved because they are the new generation. They are the ones that are going to benefit mostly, well, because of me, I'm obviously a little bit older, benefit mostly from this fantastic opportunity to make a difference to their world. So as a geography department, we are striving very hard to get the children motivated and get the children to be active in changing the world.
Okay, so another way in which we can work together as a community here at LVS to bring awareness to this global crisis is by tackling industries with the largest global emissions as basically separate causes. So one of the major carbon emitting causes being the fast fashion industry, where overconsumption exploitative businesses and mass production result in basically overall 10% of all of the carbon emissions. Water pollution and large amounts of landfill waste are also produced by this, so it's really important that we tackle this issue. And basically, to combat this, LVS fashion shows have been previously held around the theme of recycling. So this is basically up to the students to create their own pieces, either from charity shops, or just generally waste being transformed into art, just taking rubbish and creating anything and everything that they can. It's really, really cool. So we're thinking about holding another one of these, but another idea that we have is one of a swap shop, which essentially is bringing clothes that you no longer wear instead of throwing them away, donating some money to charity and receiving a token. We basically put up all the clothes, you take your token and you can take something out and swap it basically. This does require student participation though. It's up to the students to join in. We can't just do it by ourselves. So any ideas that anyone else has, they can come forward and tell us basically. So yeah.
Okay, and the last thing we want to talk to you about is our Green Flag Award initiative. So we've been signed up to the Green Flag Award for several years. It's basically an initiative that would help us, if we achieved it, become a leader in the community for sustainability. At the moment, because of the initiatives we've already put in place, such as the Eco Fashion Show that we did a few years ago, we have achieved the Bronze Award. We're currently striving to achieve the Silver Award and then hopefully the full Green Flag Award in the next couple of years, but it does require some monumental effort, which is why we need as many people from the community to be involved as possible. At the moment, we're striving to get several delegates from each of the school years to be involved in a discussion that will help us target the areas that need to be targeted in the school, but we do need community involvement as well from people outside the school. So if you have any initiatives or anything that you'd like to help us put in place, then that will help us achieve the Green Flag Award, and hopefully together we can become leaders in the community for sustainability.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Great. Super.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Macaulay, Miss Edwards and Evie. Thank you. So if you could encourage your children to be part of this, because we do need year group representatives to come forward and help us with getting the Silver Award. We can see that the world is changing so quickly, and we are seeing the benefits already, I think, of people changing their attitudes. So it's a real concerted effort with what we do as well. So, okay, so we're moving on to culture with the cultural onion, and we can display that on the screen. I think this is something that we actually started last term, and I did this as part of Perspectives. And I've also done this exercise in school as well, looking at the cultural onion and looking about school culture. And again, the culture and climate, it's all part of the same thing in different areas of our school culture and who we are and what we represent in life as well. So with this cultural onion, the outer layer, these are all the things that we can see. So, for example, this wonderful TV studio, the sports hall, the astro, the swimming pool, the fabric of the school. And in the middle, we have our policies and procedures and our rules and regulations, rewards and sanctions. It makes us who we are. But it's that inner part of the cultural onion is that we are really looking into and finding out what we are doing as a school, who we are, what is our culture and how we're going to address it. And the climate is just one area of this in which we want to make it really part of our inner culture of this school. And then the other part was to do with looking at current international issues, local issues, things that we saw with Black Lives Matters, and everyone's invited as well. And there is a big emphasis on sexual harassment. And the RSE, which is relationship and sex education, the new regulations are in full force now, and you should, as parents, have received the policy so that you can have a look over it about the education that we're delivering your children. And there's lots of good work going on there. You may remember we had 2 lawyers in the summer term as well that talked to you about the implications of inappropriate behaviour. And we do have Leonie Hodge coming into school on the 15th of November to deliver RSE training right across the school from year 5 upwards, and also to staff. And she'll be taking part in the Perspectives at 1 o'clock on that day as well. So I actually asked the heads of school, I asked them, could you go out to the staff now, go out to the heads department and talk about the curriculum, and let's see whether we are delivering what we should be delivering in the 21st century. So they collectively went out, there were probably about 15, 16 of them went out to talk to staff, and our heads of school are here who are going to talk through what their findings are as far as the curriculum is concerned and what the next steps are. So we're going to do a little bit of a shuffle, so come on in, heads of school.
Hello everyone, my name is Kitten and I'm the head boy for this academic year. So as Mam said, just before the half term we were tasked with trying to find out how each subject within the school covers aspects of diversity and inclusion, as well as certain topical points of discussion such as the Black Lives Matter movement. And so we each went and spoke to the various subject heads to find out how these topics were being discussed within our curriculum. The aim was to get a feel for how much as well as how well we are covering these topics within the curriculum and how we can sort of improve this. So following on from that, we're looking to sort of speak to more of the students within the next student voice meeting to get their feedback and perspectives relating to these topics. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Maya Kara. I'm the head girl for this year. And yeah, just as a result of the prefect meetings with the subject teachers, generally it was really positive. The English department told us how the Key Stage 3 to 5 curriculum includes books that contain lots of diversity, so there's lots of open discussions. And then obviously history and law, they directly address human rights and discrimination laws. But when we spoke to some more content-heavy subjects, such as psychology, they said that there's not really any mention of Black Lives Matter or any topical issues, and it's just because of the amount of content you have to learn on the course. And there's other subjects like that, not just psychology alone. They did say that they wanted to include more discussions about the topics, but it's just finding out how we can do that. But with the student voice meetings, we've left it open, like in the assembly this morning, we said that if anyone had any ideas on how we can implement BLM and topical issues into our everyday school lives, then they can drop either of us an email or speak to their form tutors, or they can save it for the student voice meetings, because we'd like to include it as it's important for everyone to be educated and up to date with the current affairs within these subtopics. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jenish Pun, so October is obviously Black History Month in the UK, but due to COVID and half term, we weren't really able to celebrate it fully. So we proposed at February, when it's the US's turn to celebrate Black History Month, that we do too. Additionally, we're also looking to celebrate further ways of like equality as well, and hopefully it could be like a great celebration of diversity. And we've been discussing further ways to embed the constant promotion of equality into our daily livelihood, into our daily school life. And happy Diwali to everyone out there that celebrates it.
Great, thank you very much to our heads of school. And what is great is that we are actually having these discussions, that we're opening up, and you know, these young people are really rolling with it. They're really doing well, and they're having those conversations that we should have, very open, transparent and honest conversations as well. Also in the junior school, so this week I've been down to the junior school to talk to the staff there about their curriculum, and again there's some really good conversations going on, and children are raising some very, very good questions and talking about it in an open and supportive environment, which is what we really pride ourselves on here at LVS as well. And they're also doing some great work with eco as well. So apart from, you know, they grow their own stuff down there, and they're talking about deforestation, and Mrs. Jackson is doing an assembly for lower key stage 2 later this week as well. or next week, because it's Friday actually. I think you're thinking it's Monday. So there's some good conversations and some good work going on moving in the right direction. And that also includes that we now have got a new governor for EDI as well, for equality, diversity and inclusivity as well. And we have a prefect, Bethan, here, who's here to talk about it. And she's going to be meeting the governor and our group of staff who are driving EDI within our school. So now I'm going to hop up again and come on in, Mrs. Westwood and Bethan.
Hi, so I'm Bethan. I'm the Prefect for Diversity and Inclusion, and seeing that as that's a new position, really I just wanted to hear everyone's ideas on what we can improve on. So we had the Onions last year and we had the student voice meetings, so we're hoping to implement some of the feedback that we got from that in the near future. And I think it's a really good thing that the school has started the conversation with the prefects talking to the heads of department about incorporating the Black Lives Matter movement into the curriculum, and also with the Black History Month posters around school. And I think that we need to keep that momentum going, because there are always ways to improve and we should be pushing forward and trying to do better. And it's also important to remember that while the school does have a responsibility to educate us about these things, we also do have an individual responsibility to create an inclusive environment at school and to challenge not just each other but also ourselves. And yeah, I really want the school to be a place where everyone can feel safe, valued and recognised.
Yeah, as head of sixth form, it's an absolute privilege to work with people like Bethan and the heads of school and Evie that we've seen today. And what we're seeing coming through sixth form and throughout the rest of the school as well is a greater variety of identification and diversity amongst our students, and we really want this to be a safe place for them. And I think it's an excellent thing that we've got a governor on board now that's going to really help us to focus in on that, and appointing a diversity and inclusion prefect, I think, has been an excellent job as well. So I think it's really lovely to be working with young people and the different viewpoints that they have, that an old person like myself, it's changed since I was at school, and I think that it's all for the better. The acceptance and the ability to be honest about who you are, I think is so important for everyone's mental health. And I think the more we can do as a school to help people to make it a safe space where they can really, just be who they want to be, and we can support that all the way. So it's all a really positive thing.
That's great. And we have a comment there to say from one of our parents saying it's nice to see the head pupils for this year and the prefects, so really well done to everybody as well. And then I really do believe that the LVS Ascot has always been a fully inclusive place to be, always safe. But we are really addressing the national issues now. And that work also goes through into the WOW as well. So we have Yarmila Yu here, who is our chair of the WOW. So Yarmila, over to you, and expand a bit of the work that we've done in the very short time we've been back this academic year.
Indeed, thank you, Christine. And if I could just congratulate all of the students and the staff for their presentations this morning. It's so phenomenally refreshing and exciting to see that these topics are being discussed and acted upon by the students and the school. And I think it's going to stand the students in great stead when they enter the world of work, because it's the world of work, business and industry, where a lot of these topics that we're addressing through the WOW group meetings, corporate social responsibility, equality, diversity, inclusion, fairness for everybody, responsible business, sustainability, climate action, all of these kinds of things are being worked on in industry. So I think for the LVS Ascot students going into the world of work, being prepared already and having a deep understanding of these challenges and what needs to, in effect, be the action steps taken so that we've got an improved environment for all is just phenomenal. So congratulations to all the students for already being there. It almost feels as if they've been a fly on the wall at some of our WOW meetings, because they're certainly ahead of the game as we now launch the initiatives for the academic year 21 to 22, which, if you'd like me to sort of talk about, I can share a little bit about that. Would you like to go into that? So for those of you that don't know the World of Work group, it's a parent group All parents are welcome. We meet up approximately once a month of an evening. Right now we've moved them all onto Zoom meetings, which actually is quite easy for people to be able to dial in or Zoom in from home. Other brands are available, I have to add, but we are using the Zoom platform. And we talk about issues and challenges and opportunities in the world of work. The world of work that our children will be at some point, either at 16, 18 or beyond, entering. And what we do each year is provide some insights, some strategic direction and some ideas for extracurricular activities the students can get involved in to acclimatise themselves with some of the world of work concepts, to give them a softer landing into the world of work. And for this year, we've come up with the theme, drum roll please, we've come up with a theme of climate and sustainability. And we all know about climate and sustainability and thinking about the eco aspects of it, but there's more to it than just that. So it's the many faces of sustainability. And what we've done is we've split it into 3 individual topics, so that there should be something for all of the students across juniors and seniors to get involved in. Should be something that appeals to them all. And those 3 areas are corporate and social responsibility, equality, diversity and inclusion, and then there is no planet B. So just diving in a little bit, the first one, corporate social responsibility. It's something we typically think of, and it's got the word corporate in, so we think it's all about business. And yes, it is. It's practices, it's policies, to keep business accountable. But businesses are made up of people. And we can also have personal levels of responsibility. So for this topic area, we're wanting to get the students to think about, what does CSR mean versus PSR, personal social responsibility, and what does it mean in the school environment versus the workplace? So this is an ideal opportunity for students to have that conversation with parents, guardians, others around what they are seeing in the workplace for those that are in business and industry. And the second one, the equality, diversity and inclusion, again, what does that mean in the school? What are we seeing in the school? And some of the students are already talking about that just now. And again, in the workplace. And then the planet B, that is slightly more linked to COP26 and the climate action. But with all 3 of these, there's the opportunity for the students to do research, practicing their research skills, practice their essay writing skills, because they can write essays on these topics, and also practice their debating skills by setting up mini debates to argue the case for and against, or approaches, however they may actually take those topics and identify the areas for discussion. So, but that's not it. There's other things that the students themselves may identify. I love the idea of the LVS Bitcoin for fashion. I think that's fantastic. You heard it here first at LVS, again, leading the charge. And the community is extremely entrepreneurially minded. So I can't wait to see what the students will be coming up with, mapped to those 3 topic areas of CSR, EDI, and there is no planet B. So that's just a quick summary. But for any parents that are tuned in or listen to this on replay, come join the WOW group. In fact, you're all automatic members anyway. We meet flexibly. There's no formal committee structure or actions that you end up having to do. It is about ensuring we share the insights and the experience, and we've got a breadth and depth of experience across the parent body to feed into this. But who knows, if you are an aspiring dragon for a dragon's den or anything of that kind, then there'll be opportunities when we're judging essays and doing looking at the debates and other things to get more involved.
Thank you, Yarmila. We really do want your involvement, because that's who we are. We're a community. That's our strength. And it's amazing. Our network through the WOW has created so many opportunities, including on Monday. There's another Perspectives as well on Monday, 12 to 1 o'clock, where we welcome Charlotte Valle. And if you don't know of Charlotte, please do Google her. She's one incredible lady who had been chair of the IOD until 2018, also had been chairman, CEO of various FTSE 100 industries, who found, diagnosed with autism in her 50s. She's got a great story to tell, and she's starting up the Institute of Diversity, Neurodiversity, and that's our topic on Monday. And through Yarmila and through her contacts and through the WOW contacts, we've actually got a panel of guests who are going to tell us about how neurodiversity is being addressed in the workplace and how, we all have skills to offer and that the workplace has really changed. And marketing in particular, with Yarmila being a marketeer, a wonderful marketeer who's actually a finalist in an amazing competition at the moment. Yarmila, you're a finalist in what? I can't remember what it was, that right off the top of my tongue.
Oh, currently it's the top 50. I've made it to the top 50 of advisors for Enterprise Nation, but now they're whittling it down to the top 10. It would be awesome to be in the top 10, but I'm just over the moon to be in the top 50 nationally. That's just fantastic. My mother's very proud.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And so I think if you were to find Yarmila on LinkedIn, you can actually vote for her to get her into those top 10. Come on, LVS parents, we're up there as well. We're the best. Okay, and through the marketing and the diversity that you need of skills and different personality types now in each industry is quite remarkable. So that is our topic on Monday. So I will send out details on social media today about that session, because I know we've got to really quickly upon each other. But our work and what the conversations we have are really exciting. And I do like the LVS Bitcoin idea. And in fact, as I was listening to that, I was actually thinking of how we can make this something a little bit larger than just one fashion show. And that might be that we recycle adult clothes, shoes and things too with this new currency. Let's see what we can do with that. I shall go back and have a think over the weekend. So that's what we're going to come on to a general school update now. So if you've got any questions that you'd like to bring forward about the school, because we're still in a COVID school at the moment, COVID world and how the world is moving. I've just been abroad. You might have seen on social media I've been recruiting abroad and still very much wearing masks outside and inside, and yet the UK are really tend to be to relaxing it. So we've still got to be really, really careful. So just moving on, and the next slide that I've got here actually just reflects on the school's aims. And if we could just flash that one up, Mr. Cooper, that'd be great, where we just remember our school aims, because everything we do resounds through those school aims. And the middle one there, if we get it all right, we will be happy and healthy, which are the main things for a successful education. So let's just move on to the rest of this term, because we do have 5 weeks left, but we are going to be as busy as ever. So if you're in year 9, if you're a year 9 or year 11 parent, then our options evening is on Monday the 8th of November with our year 11 parents meeting in the sixth form area at 6:30, year 9 parents into the theatre at 6:30, and then once we've had those presentations, then we move into the sports hall where you can talk to teachers about options for year 10 and year 12 the following year. Now, unfortunately, our remembrance service will have to be online, but the upside of that is that you can take part in that too and be part of that, where it's normally in the street in school. And we've got various things going on. The Year 5-6 musical from the 12th to the 14th of November has actually been written by our Year 6 teachers, Mrs. Stearns, Mr. Matthews and Mr. Clayton. So written by those very talented teachers, and that's going to be running across those dates. We're having our first drop-down day. This is on the 15th of November, and as I mentioned earlier, Leonie Hodge is coming in, who's a specialist in relationships and sex education, and she's going to be training and talking and speaking to our children from year 5 upwards and our staff and about how we address current issues. And she'll also be doing the perspectives on that day between 1 to 2 o'clock, so slightly later to fit in with the school lunchtime. Now, it says inspection week there, week commencing the 15th. That's not a formal inspection, that's not an ISI inspection. We have actually brought in 3 professional inspectors to come in and sift right the way through our school, open the cupboards up, look under the carpets, move the roof tiles literally, to see what's going on in LVS. So it'd be everything from compliance checks, looking at the admissions register, looking at the attendance register, the logs for bullying and racism, not that we have any of that, not much anyway. They'll be looking at everything compliant. They'll be checking the hot water. They'll be looking at the swimming pool. There won't be anything that's not looked at. The inspectors will come in and observe lessons throughout the week. and just check all our policies and make sure that, you know, we're in tip-top condition. I know we are. That's why I want to get 3 people in from the outside so we can show off our amazing school. But obviously we've made real progress since our last formal inspection in 2019, especially where the recommendations were our use of IT and creating independent learning. And I think we have really nailed that through the COVID period. So it'd be really interesting to see what they have to say. And like with any audit, hopefully they will come up with recommendations as a pair of eyes outside of school about how we might improve even further. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And it's not to be seen as a negative from anybody. It's just it's an opportunity for somebody to come in and audit our practice. We've got a very busy open morning on the 20th of November with over 100 families coming. And then we got some more perspectives. They're piling in thick and fast because on the 22nd, Chris Phillips, he was head of counter-terrorism in the UK for a while. He is our advisor, our consultant about keeping ourselves safe against any threat and looking after our own personal safety as well. And he's coming in to talk to our staff, and he's also doing the perspectives on the 22nd of November at 7 p.m. All these will come out on social media. And then the following day, we have a drop-down day with Paul Hannaford. And if you Google Paul Hannaford, you would see that he's quite a remarkable person, and especially the work that he does regarding gangs and knife crime and drugs and those threats that are out there for all our children, and how we can, you know, guard against the dangers that are out there too. And he is doing a perspectives on the 23rd as well. So moving on from there, we have the infant and junior school. They're all off to Windsor to the pantomime to see Jack and the Beanstalk. Wish I was going. I might try and get myself on that trip if I can. And there's going to be lots of parties. Look at the Borders Christmas dinner, Little Mermaid, our senior school production, the 2nd to the 4th of December. Chris Dingle won't be in the church, unfortunately, but we ran our Christmas tree. Our Christmas tree goes up on the 21st of November, along with all the sparkly snowmen and sleigh and reindeer that we've got. So we're going to we've added to that. We've got 3 new pieces coming in. So we will be challenging any winter wonderland, I think, within the next 2 or 3 years. Our infant and junior school nativity will be online. The carols in the street will do around the Christmas tree outside to give ourselves a little bit more singing space. Unfortunately, the parent staff choir had to be cancelled this year because it isn't safe really for 30 of us to be in a small room belting out with our voices like we normally are, and it's too cold to do it outside. And then we finished earlier this year, and that was decided a year ago. We thought we'd give ourselves a bit of space because a year ago we didn't know what COVID was going to be like, to give us that natural break. And I must admit, the way the infection rates are going, I think it is very sensible we're finishing slightly earlier this year. But next year it will be nearly a week later that we finish, and those dates are published on our website, so you can see the term dates as well. And so that rounds it up. So if you haven't got any questions, and I'm going to give it 30 seconds for any questions to come through, remember you can ask me absolutely everything, anything, within reason. And if you don't want to put it on the screen now, you can always contact me either by email or we could Zoom. Remember that virtual door and the physical door is now open and there's nothing coming through. So I think we're done. So have a lovely weekend, and don't forget perspectives on Monday 12 to 1 o'clock with Charlotte Valle on neurodiversity. See you there. Bye bye.